Hey, Keith here. It is the first weekend of November 2018. We are going to do one of the hardest trails in Indiana, the Adventure Hiking Trail. It's about a 27 mile loop, and we're going to take a nice gingerly pace and do it in, let's see, 2 half days and 2 full days. So, it'll be a good time. Come along with us. These are the trail markers that we're following. And now I get to traverse this. As you can see, with all the rain that we've had, there's actually a little bit of water running in what's normally a dry creek bed. So water probably is not going to be an issue. Let's hope. All right. If I don't fall and kill myself, there'll be more to follow. Well, there's something you don't see every day. A flooded trail on the Adventure Hiking Trail. Wow. I guess that's what 4 inches of rain in 30 hours will do for you. Yeah, we just came up a killer hill. And this place is really, you can see looking down, has some very steep ridges and valleys. That's where we came from. Back that way is where we're going. If you look in the distance. Yeah, let's see. You probably can't see it on here, but there's a green marker up there. There's Andy. He and I have been taking on this first leg. Preston waited at the trailhead for Scott, who couldn't get away, about 2 hours behind us. They were going to do the stashing of our water drops. By that, if you know anything at all about this trail, you have to stash water in different places. And we've got 2 different locations that we're going to go ahead and do a water stash. Even though we may not need them, better safe than sorry. There's that green blaze I was talking about. So this is a nice level area as opposed to the 20 minutes of pure hell for me. Andy went up it like it was nothing. All right, onward. This is interesting. If you look real hard, right up there is a spring coming out of the side of this hill. And that is a lot of water coming out. Many gallons per minute. Kind of cool. Now if we could find something like this by our campsite here in a couple of miles, that would be sweet. Everybody's getting dinner ready.
This part of the trail really is not all that great.
No. Well, that downhill killed everybody.
There's Scott, and Andy, and Preston.
That reminds me of a college party I had.
And I always have to edit. Alrighty. This is the morning of the second day. And I slept pretty good in the Old Land Shan 2 tent. It is pretty foggy outside. Let me show you. It's actually burned off quite a bit. When I first woke up this morning and looked out. If you look past Preston's hammock over there, it's docks, and you couldn't even see it. So, anyway, got the jet boil going, got a cup of coffee, getting ready to mix up some oatmeal and have breakfast. So, gets this day going. Well, with the fog, we had a tremendous amount of condensation, so everything is damp. And of course, when you're ground dwell in it, and in a tent you tend to get a little more condensation. But we really don't have time to let it dry out, which, considering there's still quite a bit of fog in the air, it may take a day or two. Just gonna pack up and go on. I did wipe down the inside of the tent with a quick dry towel, and we'll just load up and head on down the trail. Alrighty, there you go. All packed up and ready to head out. Of course, we do the leave no trace. Well, that's a good thing. Here we go. Day 2. All right. This is the old bridge across the Blue River. Let's go take a look at it. That's pretty cool. I guess in my younger days, I'd probably take a trip across that just for fun. Well, we're almost to the top of the ridge. And it's pretty rocky, but it's a beautiful trail. It actually, coming down from that big valley down there was quite a climb, but this had a little bit of switchbacks, which made it a lot easier than that hill yesterday. So this is a really diverse trail, and so far it's been challenging, but it's been a lot of fun. This is a beautiful section of the trail. Fairly easy walking. The woods is fairly opened up, so you get a little bit of scenery. A lot of big, nice trees. This is a beautiful time of year in southern Indiana. You can actually see out through the woods. A lot of times our area is like walking through the green tunnel that you hear about from time to time, because all you see is green all around you. This time of year, what a beautiful woods. This is a beautiful place. This is what they call the Pioneer Shelter. It's a nice break.
Target for the day. Anybody surprised by that?
It's very cool. I guess this is Potato Creek. What's the name of it, Preston? Potato Run Creek or Potato Run Creek?
Hey, there's another one of these over there.
I'm gonna stop and fill up with water. Way down there is, and around the bend is where we filtered our water. I should say collected water. We'll filter it when we get into camp. So we've come up a few switchbacks, probably about a 50-foot rise in elevation. But as you can see, we have a couple hundred more to go. All right, so we've come up that additional 200. But we've got to go all the way up there. No telling how much change in elevation that is. 600-800 feet anyway. Well, we're here at the Ohio River Shelter. It's about pushing 5 o'clock Eastern time. There's the Lanshan. That's spelled Lanshan. And it's the 2-man, so it's the Lanshan 2. Pretty nice tent. So everybody's finally got their stuff set up, and we're going to sit here under the shelter and cook and eat and enjoy the view of the Ohio River.
If you're a student, where do you vote? At home or where you're a student?
Pretty nice.
Wherever you're.
All right, guys, I think it's time to go to bed. Well, if you listen close, the wind is howling. Alarm went off a few minutes ago. It's about 6 a.m. Still dark, and we've got to get going early this morning. We've got a pretty long haul, and forecast isn't good. It's going to rain, and we're going to try to get as far down the trail as we can before the rain really starts pounding down on us. So, start the morning. Well, first things first this morning. Got the jet boil going. Got a cup of coffee. And mixed up some of this Mountain House granola. It's not too bad. Hopefully it'll give me a little bit of energy to do these hills today. Starting to get daylight outside. Time to get packed up. Get going. Red of morning, sailors take warning. It's pretty though. Alrighty, here we go. Had a few other hikers come in yesterday. That was pretty cool. This is the morning, day 3. Check that guy out. That's a white oak that evidently was knocked over earlier in life.
By the Indians.
By the Indians, yeah. Rerouted itself, probably rerooted. And now it's a healthy tree. Nature's amazing. This place is so diverse. It's like around every turn it's something different or new. We've seen a few of these dry creek beds. Can you imagine if there was water coming off that? Wow, would that be cool? Well, the sad part is we're down in a valley and the hill is towering over us on both sides, the ridges. So we'll get to have that fun time. Well, we loaded up with water at the road where Scott was parked. He had to get back. He could not finagle work enough to get off on Monday. So he left us. Enjoyed his company for those 3 days. Now we're continuing the rest of the adventure. Well, we're at the Chimney Shelter. Doc's over there checking it out. Let's get a look here. Obviously an old homestead. We went past the old foundation a while ago. There's an old chimney. Me, I'm having lunch.
That old foundation that back there.
Pretty good find. Dollar General store, $1.
Came up on it. There's the old foundation.
3.4 ounces.
Part of the old homestead area.
Reclosable.
This one over here was like it was
Works really well. Well, this is an overlook. That is a side trail from this Chimney Shelter. Well, an 1/8 to 1/4 of a mile back here. And it overlooks the Ohio River. So let's check this out.
Ah, poor Scott, he missed it.
Don't drop.
Yeah, really. Pretty nice. And quickly, that's a long way down.
That would hurt.
Okay,
I think so. Not for long.
the fall doesn't bother you. It's that sudden stop.
If you make a good running jump, you could land in the tree.
Mm.
And if you're really good, you can impale yourself on that little piece.
If you were lucky enough and grabbed the tree, what do you do?
Well, I guess we better keep moving because the buzzards are circling. Looks like it's starting to get a little foggy, so the rain is definitely coming. There is a shelter. We're about a mile or so from where we're staying. I just don't know if we can get there before the rain gets there. But here we go. Give it a shot. Well, we didn't beat the rain. I'm gonna get out here in it for just a second. Show you the shelter. That's enough. Anyway, there's no water up here. But I thought, you know, it's gonna be cold, and if we can collect a little bit of water, we're going to. So that's my my tarp. It's in one of the buckets that is at all these shelters to put out a fire. It's designed to catch rainwater. So that'll keep it a little cleaner. We'll filter it. We'll have us some water. Andy's already having a snack.
Chocolate peanut butter Pop-Tarts.
Courtesy of Shug. Right?
Hmm?
Courtesy of Shug.
Shoe delicacy.
Yeah. He didn't send them to him, but he always talks about them. Preston's going ahead in the rain and setting his stuff up. You hear the rain? This is from inside the shelter, looking out at the fire. I'm sitting here at the picnic table, having some gruel and a hot cup of coffee, looking out over the valley. I chose something last night that I haven't done in many years, and that was I slept in the shelter. It's pretty cool. Actually worked out well. It was raining, and so I didn't have to set the tent up in the rain. I don't have to pack out a bunch of wet stuff. More about that later, I guess. We'll talk about that in another video. But beautiful morning. Well, there was home last night. We're all packed up and ready to go.
We're a guest of the local mice.
A little foggy this morning. We're out of here.
Walking stick. There are some neat creatures out in this world.
Yes, there are. talking about the diversity of this trail. We've been in low areas that along the Blue River that were just bottoms that were wet. We've been on ridges, bluffs overlooking the river. This is really, really a nice trail. It's just early in the day, so I'm moving at a normal pace. Give it time, it'll slow down. Check this little guy out. That's cool.
Good eye.
If you listen real close, you can hear the creek. That was rapids over there. It looks like a natural overlook. Let's go check it out. All right, Keith, watch your damn step. There we go. Woo! Oh yeah, now you can see it. Well, we're off the ridge and the bluff and back into the woods. And that rain last night was just enough to make soup of everything. Now, one of the things in this area that's going on is they've been logging. And this logging was done approximately a year ago. So in the short term, it makes the woods pretty ugly. But everything that you read says that it's one of the best things that can happen. So, we'll see in a few years. Well, this is probably as good a place as any to take a quick break. We're about a half mile, or we think about a half mile from the trailhead. The maps have been notoriously wrong. The trail bikers, they've done a pretty good job with the maintenance on it. And they've added quite a few of the trail markers since Andy and Preston were here before. So that's been good. Of course, the only problem with the bicycles on the trail is they are like horses. They tend to make a little bit of mud occasionally. And we had rain yesterday evening and then last night as well. But what a trail. Diverse as it can be. And I mean, you literally go straight up. You think you're going up the side of Mount Everest. And you get to the top and it's straight back down. Occasionally you'll walk along a bluff or you'll walk along a ridge. But it's a challenging trail, especially for an old guy. But I enjoyed it. Man, what a great 4 days in the woods. We think that the total mileage is going to be somewhere between 28 and 29 miles. And miniature hiking trail. Yeah, it's a good thing. Good thing. Only real downside to it, and I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. The only downside to it is you see these dry creek beds everywhere. You know, and we're used to, when you see a creek bed, you're going to see water, especially after a rain. This whole area is nothing but limestone, lots of limestone. And the water drains super fast. So you have to locate areas that you can get to by car and hide water, you know, make a cache of water in some strategic locations if you're going to make it through this thing. It's just the only way you can do it. Or you pack, you know, 18, 20 pounds of water. That is something I'm not doing. So anyway, that's the downside to the trail. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of upsides to this loop trail here in southern Indiana. All right, there it is. Back to the parking lot and the trailhead. It's been a great trip. Thanks for watching. See you on the trail. Later.